we're hearing lots of talk about problems with furloughed employees in terms of not being communicated with, feeling forgotten about, sometimes we're hearing. But today I'm thinking specifically about one particular problem that I think is perhaps being overlooked a little bit, and that's about a sense of purpose. For all of us, in terms of our mental health and our well-being, a sense of a purpose in our life and a sense of making a contribution is really important. And for lots of people, that's largely tied up in their work. People make a contribution elsewhere in their life, but the sense of having a purpose, a sense of making a contribution to their employer's business is really important. And we have a situation now where we have all these employees who were making a contribution, who had a purpose. They'd go out to work every day and they were doing something important. They felt like they were making a contribution to what was going on. And all of a sudden they're just at home and they are not allowed to work at all. They can't go out, they can't do very much. And in the midst of a national crisis when we're all feeling quite anxious anyway. And I think the potential impact of having that sense of purpose suddenly taken away is being underestimated a little bit. And I think it's really important to remember that. It is particularly difficult to know what to actually do about it. It seems like the furlough scheme is going to change a little bit so that employees will be able to do a little bit of work while they're on furlough, but that's not going to happen until August. And I think that is part of the key problem, is that people are suddenly not allowed to work at all. I think if they'd been allowed to work a little bit from the beginning, I think that would have helped reduce this problem significantly. But at the moment, when people aren't allowed to do any work, what can you actually do? I think partly it's got to be about acknowledging and understanding that problem is there. I think some people are thinking that, it must be easy to be on furlough because they haven't got to do anything, they can just sit at home, get 80% of their pay, what's the problem? But it's not as simple as that. I think lots of people are suffering from suddenly having a lack of purpose and feeling like they're not making a contribution. I think it fuels anxiety that we're all feeling anyway. So I think understanding that is an issue is important. I think communicating really well with furloughed employees is really important, making them feel like they're part of the organisation still and part of that group purpose. But you can also give them a specific purpose. You can't get them doing any work for your organisation, anything that generates money or provides a service. But you can get them to do things like organising social activities or something like that. And just getting them to do the little things like that makes them feel like they're making a contribution. They're doing something to help the war effort, as it were, and not just sat there feeling abandoned and left and having no sense of purpose at all. So there are some little things you can do. But I think it's just really important to acknowledge that's an issue and to understand the impact it can have.